Bringing out, right? What we have been taught that it was blacks, African American, so on and so forth, right? But what do you believe, right? What do you believe? Do you believe you're actually a color of a crayon in the crayon box? Not really, right? So this is why we out here. We're out here to teach, because we have an identity crisis as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We don't know who we are. But something inside of us know we are not black.
That's right.
Because if you look at the color of your jacket right now, that does not match that, right? You're actually a dark brown. So who are we according to the Bible? What happened to us as a people? We are the 12 tribes of Israel. We make up the 12 tribes of Israel. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, so on and so forth, right? That's who God called us in the Bible. Let me get Deuteronomy 28. So what happened to us? Right? How did we even get here? Do you know anything about your history?
A
little bit. Well, how old you is, bro?
23.
23. So you was in high school, right? Did they teach you any history?
I ain't making it in high school. I was in middle school.
Okay, all right. Still though, but even in middle school, they taught some history, right?
Yeah.
But tell me if they ever taught you this.
Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
How you doing, my brother? How you doing, sir? Right now I'm teaching the young man our nationality according to the Bible, because for so long we have been lied to, and we've been told we was black, African American, Negroes, so on and so forth, right?
Bring it out.
But we about to show you in the Bible who we really are.
Right.
Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 1 verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side Jordan in the wilderness.
So Moses is talking to the Israelites, which is who God called us from the beginning anyways. You listening, bro? Hey, what's your name again, bro? Keandre. Come on, hey, just listen, Keandre, because this is important, bro. This is important because this is something they never taught you in school. So you might want to stick around, just listen, because you're going to learn something today, right? So Moses said, these be the words that Moses spake unto all Israel. So right now he's talking to these people right here on this sign, right? Now what happened to these people? Because these people at one point in time, they ruled the earth, right? At one point in time, we was kings, right? Yeah. What happened to us? Right? We're about to find out. Give me verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So all these curses was going to come upon the children of Israel and overtake them as a people, right?
Right.
Now, you can admit, as a people as a whole, we are stubborn people, correct? We don't really like to listen when we are told to do something. We want to seek our own and try to figure it out ourselves. We're like, man, why would my parents tell me not to do that? Nah, I'm gonna go see what this is about myself. And then once the judgment happens, they be like, dang, that is why my parents told me not to do that, right? That's the reality. We always have to find search it first before we actually find out why they told us not to do it. Right? But I said, curses shall come upon the children of Israel. Why? Because God gave us laws, statutes, and commandments for us to follow. But guess what we did? We didn't listen.
Right.
We went out and tried to do our own thing to figure it out. Right? Instead of like, you know what? God is the Father, He's the creator of all things. Maybe I should listen to Him. But nah. We didn't listen to Him. So guess what? Curses came upon us. Read.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Now it's saying, cursed shalt thou be in the city, right? We live in the city of Jacksonville, correct? How many hoods is in the city of Jacksonville? We could say a lot, right? A lot. Who live in these hoods? Who overtake all these hoods that's in Jacksonville, Florida? In fact, all the hoods all around the world, who live in them?
Bring it out.
We live in these hoods, right? Why? Why you think that is though? Read that one more time.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Cursed shall we be in the city, right? Why? Because we broke the laws of God. That's the reason why we fill up the hoods, why we in the projects, why we are at the bottom of society. That's why. Because we are stubborn as a people and did not listen to the laws of God. That's why we out here teaching that today. We're not worried of these churches, they're not teaching you these laws of God. That we here to do that because that's the reason why we're in the condition we in, is because we're not keeping the laws of God.
Right.
Read.
And cursed cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Now, when were we cursed as a people in the field? I'm gonna start with you, my brother. When was we cursed as a people in the field?
Wake them up.
When was I cursed?
When was we cursed as a people in the field? Right? It says, cursed shalt thou be in the field.
From the beginning.
From the beginning we was cursed in the field?
Yeah.
Or what happened to us to why we got cursed in the field? Right?
I don't know.
What was going on here? When you look at these images, what was going on? What happened here?
It was the trade of slaves.
Slaves, right?
Yeah.
What was we doing in this as slaves?
I don't know for sure.
As slaves, we were picking cotton in these fields for them.
Right.
We was picking cotton,
That was slavery.
sugar cane, coke, tobacco, rice field.
Yeah.
This is a curse for us as a people.
Right.
Because guess what? All that work we put in, right, to in these fields, what have we gotten from that?
Bring it out.
When? What?
What have we gotten from all the labor we put in to picking all these cotton,
Nothing.
all these rice? Here you go, you have to turn around and buy the same thing you was picking for over 400 years. Because guess what? Some of that stuff you got on, you picked some of it.
Right.
I didn't.
Not, our people did though.
My family did.
But guess what? We are one nation. We're a people. Whatever
Right.
they went through, we feeling it now. Because they picked it, you have to buy it, right? That's my point. Read. Give me verse 48. Because now we about to go more into it. How we know this, the children of Israel is the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're about to find out how we know that. We're about to dive deeper into it. Read.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
God sent these people against us, right?
Right.
Because why? We disobeyed His laws. As a father, right? If you disobey me, there will be consequences and punishments.
Right.
You're gonna have to face those punishments and consequences. Read.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
Hey, my brother, let me ask you a question, right? You just went out that store, right? The Bible said we're gonna serve our enemies in the wants of all things, right? Who owns that New King's Food Mart? Do our people own that? Nah. Guess what? That's what the Bible's talking about. We're gonna serve our enemies in the wants of all things.
Right.
Because we don't own none of these. These Popeyes down the street, the Family Dollar Tree, we don't own any of those.
Right.
But guess what? We gotta go to these places to buy things, right? That's what the Bible means when we shall serve our enemies in the wants of all things, right? Start from the top. Read that again.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger.
In hunger, my brother. When you are hungry, where do you go to get your groceries from? Where you get your groceries from?
I get them all over different places.
All over, right? But at these food stores, right? Supermarkets, right? We don't own any of that.
No.
We shall serve our enemies in the wants of all things. So one of the things is in hunger. So when we hungry, we got to go to them for food. Read.
And in thirst.
When we thirsty, right? Water falls free from the sky. Am I correct? We could agree with that, right?
Yeah,
Right? So, but we got to pay for it, right? But now they're making it a thing to where if you even collect that water, right, you get fined for it. What you got in the Shama? What?
That's what is required of an Israelite.
Oh, hey, my brother.
Hey, bro, real quick.
Hey, so the young man had a nice question. You heard that, right? What is required of us as Israel? Let me get Deuteronomy 10 and 12. So us as a people, right? What is required of us to come to for God to actually, start looking at us and starting to forgive us for the things we have done, right? How can we come back to the Father, right? Read that.
Deuteronomy
That's a good
chapter
question.
10, verse 12. And now Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee?
So that's going into your question, bro. I want you to listen to that. What is required of us Israelites, right? Read.
But to fear the Lord thy God.
Now, what does it mean to fear God, right? What does it mean to fear God? Since you asked the question, let me start with you. What does it mean to fear God?
Fear Him
basically, to do unto what he say, and
Okay. That's not a bad answer. What about you, sir? What does it mean to fear God?
What does it mean to fear God?
Yeah.
Death.
Death. Okay. Okay. All right. So, to fear God, right? So when someone or something, right? If you're told not to do something because you fear what he may do to you, or you fear him, you're not gonna do it, correct? All right. Finish that.
Psalm chapter 119, verse 120. My flesh trembleth for fear of thee, and I am afraid of thy judgments.
So that goes into what you're saying. One of the judgments is if we don't obey his laws, the wages of sin is what? Death, right? So death is one of the judgments that can come upon us. So us as Israelites, right? What is required of us is to keep the laws of God, right? Because behind that, by you not keeping the laws of God, guess what? Judgments come upon you. Now, by me being observant, you being a young man, I see you got a black eye, right? Of course, I used to smoke that too, because I didn't have no fear of God, right? But guess what? I ran across these same brothers you're talking to right now, and guess what happened to me? I repented, and I put that black eye down. Right. Because guess what? The Bible said we should not defile our temple. I'm going to show you that. Read that. 1 Corinthians 3:16.
1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16.
Bring it out.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you?
The Spirit of God dwells in us. How can God dwell in you if you're constantly defiling his temple? Right. Right? He can't be in you. He can't stay inside you because you're constantly defiling his temple. Right? So guess what? Smoking cigarettes, smoking black smoking weed, all that defiles the temple of God. Right. Eating pork defiles the temple of God. Right. Eating shrimp defiles the temple of God. All these things that God told us not to eat or do defiles his temple.
That's right.
Correct? Now that we standing here, I'm going to show you another law. I'm going to show you laws in the Bible that you probably never even heard of or thought of was a law. Right? Because that's how you come back. That is required of us as Israelites. Let me get, finish that.
If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy.
So, all praises. So what you think is going to happen, sir, if you continue to smoke that black and mild? What the Bible just says is going to happen to you?
Judgment.
Huh? Judgment, right? Read that one more time.
If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy.
God will destroy you. How? On that same black and mild packet, right? Yeah. What is on the label saying? What is the warning sign on that packet? Cancer, right? But guess what? If you had the fear of God, would you continue to smoke that? That means you don't fear God at all, because on that same label, it tells you it will cause you cancer. Right. You see a lot of people who have lung cancer, right? From smoking these same thing you smoking. So why continue to do it? Why? What's the point? What do you even get out of it? Right? What do you get out of it? It suits you no purpose. It serves you no purpose, bro. You try to find a way out. That's why we smoke. That's why we get drunk, to try to find a way out. But you wake up the next day and still have the same problem, bro. You still have the same issue. None of that stuff goes away because you light up a cigarette or a black and mild. You still gonna have the same problem. Am I right or am I wrong, my brother? Right? You have one problem, stay guess what? You go to bed thinking it's gonna go away, you're gonna wake up, you're still gonna be in the hood. You're still gonna be stuck at the bottom of society. You're still gonna be the first fired, last hired. Right. All this is still gonna be happening. The real way to change is to come back to the laws of God and know who you are and what is required of you as an Israelite.
That's right.
Right?
Right there. Real quick. You know the reason a lot of our people continue to smoke, sell drugs, commit adultery, so on and so forth? Because we really don't really know God. The God that we was introduced to is this image right here.
Right.
When we think of him, it's all good. When we think of him, no matter how long as I believe, I'm getting into the kingdom, no matter what I do. That's why we're here to introduce you to the real Christ, the real God, because the real God is actually going to judge. He's going to jack you up. Give me Isaiah 66:15. Coming up. I want to get to the point of y'all to understand the seriousness of what we're trying to bring out. Because the God of this Bible is the same God that put us in slavery. When the other nation came and they castrate us, took our wives, raped us, raped our women. That's the same God.
Right.
God never changed. God said, I'm a jealous God. So when you worship somebody else and you do anything outside, I tell you, he gets pissed and he judges us.
Isaiah chapter 66, verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire.
The Lord is going to come with fire, not hugs and kisses, the way we are taught in the movies, right?
And with chariots, like a whirlwind.
Those chariots, the one that they say UFOs, those are the chariots of God.
To render his anger.
Render anger. Because if you know, my brother, you're older than us, right? When you read the Bible, God does not come with huggers and kisses.
Right.
He coming with anger because he's angry at seeing all the sin. He's seeing his people act like fools and small children, right? Instead of being men of the Lord.
Right. To render his anger with fury.
With fury.
And his rebuke with flames of fire.
With flames of fire. Any more?
For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh.
So when he coming here, that's how he's going to plead. With violence, with death. That's why I say, listen, repent. Stop eating swine. Stop shaving. Stop committing adultery. Stop breaking the Sabbath. Those things are the reason we in the bottom, and those things are the one that's going to give you eternal death. Because everybody dies. We all going to die. But we don't think we got that eternal death, which is going to be pain forever. Give me the last verse on that right there.
And the slain of the Lord shall be many. They that sanctify themselves at
The last verse of the chapter.
Verse 24. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed
so
against
they're going to
me.
see the carcasses, the dead bodies at the end when Christ kill them, right? You hear that, my brother?
For their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched.
You imagine that? You heard about that, the hell, right? The flaming fire? He said that fire ain't going to be quenched. Their worms in their body ain't never going to die. So I mean, that's an eternal pain. This is what we got to get understand. We think about that carnal death, but we don't realize that second death is going to be forever. So you can't take no medicine to calm that down. It's going to be a pain non-stop.
Right.
That's what we're trying to get at people. This is very serious.
What is nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.